So with YouTube's new, TOS stating that you can't challenge anything on anything, well, all of that talk will go on BitChute and Odyssey. Now let's get to this. Again, I have to stress that I ain't no doctor. Whether you do something or you don't do something is all entirely up to you. I have no control over that, and nor should I. Having said that, when you classify a certain amount of the population as, something as terrible as secondhand smoke, that's basically othering other people. And that term othering is a Marxist sort of language. And I'm using it because that's exactly what this is. I can use their language against them. You're othering other people who they disagree with. They're saying, well, you can hurt me in some way. Oh. They can make me and my family sick. Oh, okay. So Kathleen Sebelius, who used to be under Obama's, she was terrible. So she was former Health and Human Services. She basically calls all Americans who do not receive the jib jab are like secondhand smoke if they can make people sick. Well, let's be fair here, there, Kathleen Sebelius. Even the vaccinated can give out the virus. Okay? That's already been published numerous times. So it doesn't matter if you get it or you don't get it, you can still give it out. All it boils down to is whether, according to the science, if you got the jib, you're not going to get as sick as somebody who doesn't have the jib. That's what I'm reading. So she says, I think what the potato has done to balance between the science says and trying to cajole, encourage, make it easy for people to follow the science. Cajole. That's an interesting term she would use. Cajole. Basically mock what you're trying to say. Slightly encouraged by the encouragement. Like saying you're going to lose your job if you don't get the jib jab. Okay, I got it. When that turned out to be not as effective, then you tried and you turned to more hardened mandates. Again, understand that the federal government has very little power, so to speak, to mandate such grandiose ideas like the jib jab. It can make it extremely painful. But what people don't have a right to do is make other people sick, put other people in jeopardy, risk other people's lives, risk children's lives. Oh, so you mean like the abortion debate where that's basically risking someone's life? Ripping a fetus out of a woman? I mean, isn't that making people sick? Yes, right. You don't consider them human beings. Oh, they're just a clump of cells with a heartbeat and a consumable brain. Screw them. I get it. And it goes on. So I think the president has a walking line of balance, science and safety and security at every step along the way, hoping that the mass majority of American public would follow that lead. This isn't helping. When you're actively out there saying, you better do it or else, and you're from the government, you're like, wait a minute. You start asking questions. And people in power, and especially YouTube and all the other big tech platforms, don't like it when you actually question the power structure. They hate it, to be honest. And she also added, it's a lot like secondhand smoke. You have the right to be a smoker. The science is very clear what smoking will do to you. By the way there, folks out there in Lazaland, early in the 40s and 50s, doctors used to promote cigarette smoking. They did. Until it got to a point where like, this is actually hurting people. Then the government was like, well, we're getting tax money. And then so it finally became out of vogue. The point being is that at some point, people, doctors, the medical community, referred cough syrup with morphine in it and shit like that. So, again, you can only take the FDA with a grain of salt, knowing that their past receipts aren't the best in the world. You don't have a right to smoke next to my desk, to blow smoke on people and my children, to force me to live in a housing facility where I'm subjected to more smoke. That is a line that we have in this country, which delineates what your rights or individual rights are. You still have the right to do all that. Now, you're basically offending somebody if you blow smoke in someone's face. That could be also considered assault. You can do it. It just means that in certain instances you can get in trouble. So I don't know where she's getting it. I think we're looking at very much the same situation. OSHA, you're absolutely right, has always provided guidance and mandates about safety in a workplace. Workplace, not in public. You dipshit. This is not a safe workplace. It is not a workplace, you dipshit. If I'm working with a person that may make me and my family sick, that is unacceptable. Again, OSHA is for workplaces, you ding-dong. Public is a different area. But you want to mandate shit that you don't even do when you're with other people in high society. The Met Gala, the rubes out there, the servants wearing masks, but the people who are high society weren't wearing masks, or we don't know their vaccination status because that's a private thing. Thankfully so. You're talking about the Emmys. No one was wearing masks. But now you want to force people and other people saying that if they don't get the jab, they're trying to kill grandma. They're going to get me sick. Really? How is somebody here somewhere in the Alabama, Georgia, Florida area going to get someone like Kathleen Sebelius sick or her kids sick? You can't. Could you contact trace somebody? Absolutely. For the most part, you just get it. This is ridiculous. This whole othering and making people, just because they chose not to do a certain thing that the government wants them to do, but because that pesky constitution is forcing them not to forcefully jab somebody up. It's still, luckily, as of right now, a free country. But if we look at Australia and the receipts they're giving out, I don't know how much long we have until our government starts forcing the jab on everyone else.